and Management. Our chief guest for today, CA Mrs. Madhuri Dandikar ma'am. My colleagues in the department, Dr. Shamla, Ms. Ritu, Mr. Vaisane, my staff members, and the most important members today of this meeting, the new students, as well as my students who have been with me for the last 7-8 months through this pandemic season. I would like to once again welcome all of you for this induction program of the batch 2021. It gives me immense pleasure to see that so many of you have gathered here to listen to words of wisdom from our eminent guests. First of all, today is a very auspicious day. I hope you all know. Today is Durgashtami, and a very good day to commence a program, a new beginning, a new journey of our life. And with all of you present here, looking forward to conquer this pandemic and go ahead, I would like to congratulate all of you for getting admitted to this program of ours, the MCOM program of the Department of Commerce of SPPU. Just like Rupali just said, we are only 16 years old. So we are celebrating our sweet 16 this year. And in the 16th year, I am very happy to say that we have started 2 divisions of MCOM. All these years, we had only 1 division with 60 students. And from this year onwards, we are having 2 divisions. So every year, every time a landmark comes, we try to take a small step to going ahead in this journey. Now, most of you have not seen it yet, but our department is an independent 2-story building with plenty of classrooms, with facilities, and the best feature of our department is the library. We have a beautiful library with thousands of books, and interestingly, we have books in English, Hindi, in Marathi, books which have academic content, and books which not necessarily academic content, but which are here to help you develop your personality in the time that you spend with us. Now, this building of ours is placed in a 411-acre lush, green, beautiful campus. And I hope, my dear students, that it will not be very long that we will be able to bring you back on campus here for you to experience and feel what this place is all about. I can't really explain more than that. It has to be felt by being here in person. And I feel very proud to be a part of this university, because not only this university is named after one Durga, our Savitribai Phule, the lady who initiated girl education in Maharashtra, and also for the fact that today from that point we have so many girl students who graduate, who do post graduation, and who complete their PhD as well from our esteemed university. Very proudly, I'd like to share that our university stands at the rank 11 in the entire nation amongst all the universities. And we are the only second state university in that list. And it's a matter of great achievement. And therefore, I'm very happy to welcome all of you to this place. And I'm sure that once you are with us, you will feel the pride of being a part of SPPU. I can actually keep talking on and on, but we have dignitaries today whom I'm also eager to listen to. But before I sign off, there is one thing I would like to say for all of you to remember. You have joined this department, the Department of Commerce, for a postgraduate degree, MCOM. Take this seriously. These 2 years or maybe 20 months are very, very important. You have spent several years pursuing your education at different levels, but this is a point, a fork, where you have to choose one of the many paths that are available to you. This is going to be your stepping stone for further career. So have fun, enjoy yourself, but be very serious about what you want to do, for this time doesn't come back again. Time once spent is gone. So use your time wisely. Acquire a few things. One, knowledge. Knowledge is something from any time, anywhere. It is one of the most useful, I'll say a commodity, because we are all students of commerce and we will need this all our life. The second essential capacity that we have to develop is skill. And each of us have a different type of skill set. Identify your strengths, identify your weakness, overcome your weakness and strengthen the strengths that you have, go ahead with it. And last thing I'd like to tell you is develop habits. It is said that if you do something for 21 days at the same time consistently, it becomes a habit. So my dear friends, inculcate that habit now, because not 21 days, you have 21 months to create a solid foundation of your future. And this will equip you to thrive in this world which changes every day, throws out new challenges that we have to face. So someone said, I don't recollect who said this quote, a journey of 1,000 steps begins with one small step in the right direction. And I hope this is the step that you have taken in the right direction to go ahead all those 1,000 miles which are awaiting you. So once again, I welcome all of you to the Department of Commerce in Savitribai Phule Pune University. Thank you so much. And over to you, Rupali.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The optimism you bring with your words now, it is just amazing. Simply amazing. Thank you so much. It was really enlightening and insightful, like always. Now, I would like Shlok to introduce the Dean Faculty of Commerce and Management of Savitribai Phule Pune University. Shlok, over to you.
Thank you, Rupali. Dean, Faculty of Commerce and Management at Savitribai Phule Pune University member, Management Council, Academic Council, and Senate SPPU. He has served as a professor and director at Sinhagad Institute of Management and also the chairman of Board of Studies in Foreign Trade Management in University of Pune. He has immense knowledge of the industry when it comes to e-learning, business strategy, strategic planning, instructional design, academic administration, market research, distance learning, statistics, project management, event management, data analysis, change management, and the list is never ending with. He has been a great leader and an inspiration to n number of people. Professor Dr. Parag Kalkar is a firm believer of the fact that successful people pave paths for others to follow. We always are eager to listen to such a leader. With this, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Parag Kalkar to share his words of wisdom. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Shlok, for your kind words, and Rupali for the introduction. Honorable Dr. Ines Umrani, sir, Pro Vice Chancellor, Savitribai Phule Pune University. Dr. Supriya Patil, madam, who has shared her vision with all of you, who is the head of the department. CA Madhuri Dandekar, madam, who has joined as a guest for today's session. Dr. Shamla, madam, faculty members, students, and the student who have joined today for this program which we are starting in the MCOM batch. On behalf of Savitribai Phule Pune University, Faculty of Commerce and Management, I extend my hearty welcome to all of you for starting your journey, as Madam has told, right path or right step for this Master of Commerce program 21-23 batch. And I'm very happy that you are very fortunate, because very few students, because of the university, I think this year more than 120 students are being admitted. Earlier, only 60 students out of 3 districts, Pune, Nagar and Nashik, would get opportunity to study in the campus of university. There are many students who are studying outside the campus in the colleges. But I think everybody has a dream that he should complete one program at least in the PG department of a prestigious university like Savitribai Phule Pune University. So I congratulate you for this first step. But I think that is not the end of this step, because you are joining a program which is titled as Master of Commerce. And the world outside, I think what you are seeing is of commerce. We are all hearing various kind of words, phrases, which is called as e-commerce. Recently, I think the 2 days back, the e-commerce company like Amazon and Flipkart, recently they have pre-Dashera or pre-Navratri sale. And I think how much business they have done, more than 20,000 crore rupees business they have done. So you're very fortunate that the opportunities after completion of this program are abundant outside. Now it's time for you to build up your capacity to face these challenges outside. Mobile commerce, we all know that every digital thing is now available on your mobile. You can sell, you can buy, you can do everything and anything, including financial transaction on the basis of mobile, using your mobile. Digital commerce is there. Phygital commerce is there. There's sometimes you do things physically, sometimes it is done digitally. So it's a combination is there. Even a sabji and day-to-day utensils also you can get on your mobile or delivered to your home. Digital marketing is taking a seat ahead. You must be seeing that Coca-Cola and Pepsi, the bigger beverage company, now they are on digital platform. You haven't seen they're holding on the highways. So everything is coming on a digital platform. And I think the commerce is changing its way of functioning. So I think what the university says is knowledge in action. Jnana bano karmashila karma jnanavan. So knowledge, bringing that knowledge is action. The way you behave, the way you talk, the way you walk, people will recognize you as a student of campus, student of Savitribai Phule Pune University. So I think you have to take a very positive way, and you have to see that. For an example, whenever a students of National Defence Academy move on Saturdays and Sundays on the roads of Ferguson College or Deccan Gymkhana, the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they stand tall, everybody knows they are from NDA. In a similar way, the way you are talking, the way you are behaving, the way you are handling things, I think people must say that you are from the commerce stream. So I think that kind of thought process must go into your teaching learning process. I know that today we are not physically meeting, but I think it's not very far that we'll be having physical interaction in the Department of Commerce of Savitribai Phule Pune University. These 2 years are last 2 years of your career. I know that after master's degree, you have to go in a real life, you have to go in your professional life, you will be getting either jobs or you will doing something of your own. But I think this is the last 2 years of your formal learning. I know that the learning, we have to keep learning curve on forever, because a lot of technologies are changing, a lot of things and a lot of systems are changing outside. But formal learning, these are the last 2 years. So you have to invest in yourself. Don't waste your time. Maximum time, as madam has told, that you have abundant number of books beyond your curriculum also. Lot of things you have learned. So keep that learning curve on. Do not waste your time. Invest in yourself. See that there are other learnings is there. Books are available. Lot of things are available in the campus which you can utilize for your career. That will build up your career. This year, on an average, there may be 20,000 students or 40,000 students throughout India, maybe for starting their career in MCOM. At the end of this course, everybody may not be successful. I want that you should become successful, because how you pass this 2-year journey is important. Degree is also important. University is having prestige behind the degree, but the way you perform, because all this master's course is a performing art. If I tell you that I have master in Kathak or Kuchipudi and I show you a certificate with good golden embossing, you will be happy, you will clap. but the next moment you will expect me to perform whatever is written in that certificate. So when you're going to carry a certificate of Savitribai Phule Pune University Department of Commerce, Master of Commerce, I think you must demonstrate that quality when you're going out and seeking for some placement or doing some work. So it is more important for all of you to understand. There are abundant opportunities available. In simple word, we can say that सितारों के आगे जहां और भी है, lot of things are available. World is changing. You have to invest in self-learning. You are in a master's program. Don't enter into the classroom, maybe virtual classroom, without preparation. You must be aware of your timetable. Don't just go like we go for a movie or we enter into the please do the proper homework before you enter into the class. There are a lot of learning opportunities there. You can learn in groups, you can learn individually, understand the subject, because these all things which you're going to learn in this 2-year curriculum is going to be used in the real life. The department will give you a platform to learn. Presentations will be there, interaction will be there, a lot of activities will be there when you are coming to the department physically. Don't hesitate in participation, because this is the platform where you can learn, where you can fail, and we can learn from your failures. They are not going to be fatal. But when you are not learning properly, when you're not understanding properly, when you're not participating properly, you will go to the real life without proper preparation. Use this platform for more and more learning, and that will help you to grow yourself in much better way. The more you sweat in practice, less you bleed in war. So these 2 years, invest in yourself, learn a lot of things. The department and campus facilities are there. Use the library to the maximum fullest extent and see that at the end of these 2 years, you are reaching somewhere to your dream destination in your career. I wish your career all the best from myself and on behalf of Faculty of Commerce and Management, Savitribai Phule Pune University. Thank you. Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you, sir. You have always been an inspiration to all of us. Keep inspiring and motivating us year after. Thank you, sir. On to you, Rupali.
Thank you, Shlok. Now, inviting Sarvesh to take it over to introduce you all to our Pro Vice Chancellor, Sir of SPPU. Sarvesh, please go ahead.
Thank you, Rupali. Good afternoon, everyone. Now, I would like to introduce Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor of Savitribai Phule Pune University, Dr. N.S. Umrani sir. He is an educational administrator and a research guide in commerce, having work experience of 35 years, which includes teaching, research, and industry experience. He has done his PhD in commerce in consumer movement from SPPU. He also worked as principal of MES Garware College of Commerce, as a reader in commerce in Shri Shahu Mandir Mahavidyalaya, as an instructor of vocational course in commerce in BP Shukla Commerce College. Sir has also worked with Air India's Finance and Account Department. He has authored many books and also contributed as a resource person in numerous fairs. In his tenure of 35 years, he has encouraged his students, colleagues to work for better and beyond the horizon in life. He has also taught us that we can achieve anything in life, provided that we work hard enough to deserve that very thing. We will always look forward and wait to hear you from sir. I hereby request sir to come and address the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon to all. Chartered Accountant Madhuri Madam, Head of the Department, Dr. Supriya Patil, Dr. Parag Kalkar, Dean, Commerce and Management Faculty of our university, Shamala Madam, all the faculty members, and my dear students. What a great day in your life. Indeed, auspicious day for all of us. Durgashtami, Navratra is going on. After 2 days, we are going to celebrate one of the big festival, Vijayadashmi. After that, 20 days, we are going to celebrate our, again, a great Diwali. On this background, you all are entering into one of the greatest university in the world. Friends, as a teacher, as a senior colleague, I'm very happy to welcome you all in MCOM program. You have graduated from the various colleges. You are coming from various geographies, I know. That is very important. When you come from various geography, you are coming with your thought process, values, language, attitudes, good habits. This is very important. Because when you come together, you learn a lot from your own friends in the classroom, in the library. Don't forget, commerce education is a highly professional learning spectrum. Why I'm saying this? Commerce education is not only business education, it encompasses number of important areas like accountancy, taxation, costing, finance, marketing, logistic, supply chain, entrepreneurship, startup culture, and some learning in respect of incubation too. Friends, one thing we all have to keep in mind, more than 90% jobs, employment is available in private sector today. Public sector, we all know, is shrinking like anything because our economy, our government has adopted the policy of minimum governance, minimum government and maximum governance, acquisition, mergers, takeovers are happening every day. I started my career in Air India. Now Air India is taken by none other than great Tatas. And I must tell you, disinvestment consultancy is provided by Ernst & Young, wherein my son is working. See the journey. I started my career in Air India in 1983, and my son is providing consultancy to disinvestment area to Air India through working in Ernst & Young. See the journey. So education itself is a journey, friends. It never ends. Education itself is lifelong learning. I request everybody, please keep in mind, it is a credit system. We are going to complete 100 credits in 2 years. Big task, but not Herculean. not difficult. It must be enjoying, engaging. It depends upon you how seriously you are trying to take the efforts. If you are always in the library, if you are having a wonderful dialogue with your teachers and HOD, I think you are on the right path. Two important things: wonderful dialogue with your teachers and communication consistently with HOD, and you must be in the library for referring the good content. Then definitely you are going to garner the good jobs in industry, in business, or you are going to start startup or any business in small way or big way. That doesn't matter. Friends, you must try to understand the idea of university. What is an idea of university? Universalization. Your thought, your action must be universal. This is university, and we are committed to the principles like access. Very important. Access to everybody, irrespective of income, region, geography, caste, creed, religion. We are having the wonderful resources on the campus, vehicle library, instrumentation facility, health center, playground, researchers, collaborations, tie-ups, industry people, and whatnot. These all things are accessible to you on the campus 24 hours, no doubt. With access, as I said, we value on the campus equity principle. Then quality, our education, teaching, learning, even evaluation, all the aspects are based on cutting edge research. What is happening in industry that comes to the classroom directly on the same day using digital technology and modern teaching methods. And then affordability. What type of fees we charge, you all know. In the context of other universities and colleges, I do not like to name the organizations. Affordability. That means considering the socio-economic background of the population in our country, Supreme Court has repeatedly decreed, announced that education cannot be a business. Education is education, samskar, like parents. So we are committed to that aspect, affordability. Profit earning is not a motto of this university. Our motto is to develop good human beings. That's all. To develop good human beings. That's why we follow all teachers, non-teaching staff, admin staff, officers, vice chancellors, pro-vice chancellor, deans. Value the principle of accountability, benefit, advantage, growth, and all-round development of the students is our aim and motto. That's all. Then we try to understand what is good human being. It's not a simple word, simple concept. Good human beings are going to create the nation. You are going to lead the industry, business, politics, even research organizations, schools, colleges, social organizations. That is real nation building. In that nation building, you are going to contribute. On this auspicious day, you must try to understand what is the meaning of good human beings, number one, you must be capable of rational thought and action. Nowadays, we repeatedly use the concept of design thinking. What is design thinking? Design thinking starts from empathy, then prototyping, testing, and bringing the product and services in the market. That design thinking starts from the step of empathy, inclusiveness. To whom we are going to deal with? Children, women, poorest section, farmers, old age. See, these are the backbone and embodiment of the market. Customer satisfaction, customer delight. Therefore, friends, good human being means good marketer, good sales officer, good teacher, good manager, good leader means he has to take the action, decision in the interest of the society. At the same time, social brain must work, not only business brain. Business brain plus social brain, that is real leadership quality. Then you must possess compassion as well as empathy. COVID-19 has taught us many things, courage and resilience. That is the one of the important trait of good human being, resilience. Then scientific temper as well as creative imagination. Scientific temper means not only knowledge of physics, chemistry. Scientific temper is equivalent to critical thinking. What is bad, what is good, and what is beneficial for me, for society, for parents, and for my friends, my university, my country. That type of thought process you must learn through curriculum, through pedagogy, through evaluation. And last important thing, you should be sound ethical person, having great respect to our value system. And Vijayadashmi, Diwali, all festivals teach us the same thing. So education is like a celebration of Diwali. We have started our journey on very, very auspicious day. We have a very, very wonderful leader in Commerce Department. Dr. Supriya Patil is always helpful, available, and highly motivated teacher. He contributes in many aspects of governance, especially in quality enhancement. He leads, spearheads a quality movement on the campus through IQAC. She is a director of IQAC and heading Commerce Department. I will not repeat the importance of Commerce Department. So commerce teacher always engaged in telling the importance of commerce, but commerce is a part of higher education. All the faculties are important, and hence we shall try to have some feeling of other faculty also on the campus. We have core subject, elective subjects. I think 25% subjects, papers you can choose from other departments, sociology, or even language as per your convenience, taking the guidance of HOD. You can peep into other departments, what is happening, what your friends are learning. So this is university. This is idea of university. You are really lucky entering into one of the greatest university, Savitribai Phule Pune University. I welcome you all once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Your words of wisdom have always been enlightened us with good spirit and brings energy. Now, over to you, Rupali.
Thank you, Sarvesh, and thank you so much, sir. That was great listening to you. Now, Vinayak will be taking the privilege to introduce our guest of the evening to all of you. I must tell you, she's an amazing leader and influential personality. Over to you, Vinayak.
CA Mrs. Madhuri Dandekar, serving as a CFO to Sandarbha Consultancy since 2018. She is a graduate from Shivaji University and then did CA from ICI New Delhi. She holds work experience of more than 25 years in the industry, mostly as a head of accounts or finance or CFO. During that tenure, she has worked with many renowned industries groups like Kalyani, Kirloskar, Taco, Firodia, and has worked across various sectors like engineering, auto component, food packaging, chemical manufacturing, etc. Her key strengths include treasury management, implementation of MIS, accounting and compliances, and many more. She started freelancing consulting as virtual CFO. She is a person who is very keen to work and always ready to help small and medium scale industries for better financial management. She is mentor with BYST for more than 2 years and also a member of Institutes of Directors. We are glad to have her between us. We heartily welcome you, ma'am, and request you to enlighten us. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Am I audible? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Properly audible.
Yes, you are, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure for me to be with you people. A lot of dignitaries. I am really happy to get back after such a long period, at least to get connected with the university and the education. And I was like remembering how my college days, how we were taught, and the fun which we had while learning. I was just listening through Umrani sir, and I think he has very aptly tried to express the importance of the commerce to learn as a profession, as well as to learn to be a good human being. That's a very interesting and very important points which Umrani sir has mentioned. I'm here to give you a little glimpse or a little insight on your course towards after you finish your this education. Why this is little important is after doing this course, which is MCOM, which is masters, it means you are taking advanced expertise, knowledge, and education in commerce background, in commerce subjects. And where are you going to use it afterwards? So let us look at few things which you need to look at while studying MCOM. One is, of course, industry. The exposure in industry is tremendous, as Umrani sir mentioned. See, the beauty of commerce program is that it is not limited to any particular industry, segment, sector, or the area of work. I mean, I will put it broadly. Even a small shopkeeper, kirana keeper also needs to know how do I record my receipts, how do I record my expense, am I making a profit out of it, am I earning something, am I making losses? I mean, as simple as that. As compared to this, any big company or big corporation, they definitely need, and all their programs, all their plans, or their decisions are based on whether are we doing things right, and how do you measure it. So the people from commerce background, they are the people who are looked at to tell the businesses what they are doing is right, where they are going wrong, are they making profits, are your costs correct, are your measurement of your efforts are measurable and convertible and useful to the business or for the services, or even for the development sector. You can say it is not necessarily a profit. What I'm trying to say is, you take any aspect of life, any aspect of business, any aspect of work, commerce is the inseparable part of that. So the importance of our profession lies in that. So the field is open. I mean, you don't have, for example, engineers, they have a limited entry into the, for example, a mechanical engineer has to first look into an opportunity into a specific field. Same is with the civil engineer, which is not the case with the commerce graduates. And that's the beauty of this course. Here you are, the university and the education and the curriculum is helping you to create and strengthen your base of the basic fundamentals of the commerce education. It is helping you to very clear logical thinking and interpretations of any provisions as far as the compliances are concerned. And then you can use that. Now the opportunity is how you can use that, where you can use that, and what else you need to do. I'm going to talk about for another just 5 to 10 minutes only on this aspect. Three things are very important according to me. Coming from the industry and based on my experience in last 25 years in this industry, the most important thing is hard work, upgrade, and remain engaged. These three things are very, very important. Hard work, of course, there are no shortcuts. Unless you actually start using your theoretical knowledge, which you are learning here, into a practical application, how it is used practically. That is most important, and that's the beginning of any of your career or any of your efforts towards your being successful in your life. Doesn't matter at what level you start, doesn't matter at what type of industry you enter into. Commerce remains commerce, debit remains debit, credit remains credit. It doesn't change anywhere you go in the world. But then how to use that? How I need to apply this in terms of the kind of business or in kind of the environment I'm working. If you are working in a service industry, you need to understand what are the elements which are applicable to that. If you are working in a manufacturing industry, you need to understand what are the cost implications in that. What are the cost heads into that? What are my revenue items in that? These examples I'm giving just you to understand that unless you understand the kind of business, understand the kind of profession you want to get into, you need to modify your accounting skills to fit into that. It means you have to remain engaged in the kind of profession or business you enter into, learn the scenarios, and then apply your knowledge and your education to deliver. So there are no shortcuts to hard work. You have to remain engaged in terms of not limiting yourself. Oh, my job is only like posting. It's a recording. See, nowadays accounting is a recording. But the commerce graduates after MCOM or the people who are like who will be doing the specialization in costing or taxation or finance or accounts, there is a huge scope. Unless you find out that how I can use these specializations into the business to benefit what is needed for the businesses, for the management, to take the decisions upon, to rely upon, and to find out what needs to be corrected. The basis of all these decisions is the accounting, is the recording of the transactions. And then when I say you have to go beyond, because recording, I mean, now there are so many softwares available which record the transactions. You need to understand how to interpret. These are the points you need to keep in mind when you undertake this course. You learn this MCOM, which is 2 years course. While you learn this, while you acquire knowledge, keep these points in your mind that how am I going to interpret this? Why a particular entry or why a particular debit is to be treated as in a certain manner in the balance sheet? Why? Because it always has a relationship with in what business you are in what type of transactions you are entering into, in which type of business. So the interpretation of the cost elements, the interpretation of the terminologies, the interpretations of the elements, cost element or revenue elements has to be understood very clearly. So while learning, while completing your course, please keep these 2-3 things in your mind, which are going to be very helpful for you when you get into a business or profession or for the further education. Instead of like focusing just to acquire good marks, just to pass exam, this is not going to help. You might get good marks, But if you have not opened your minds and brought in these things in your mind while learning, it is not going to help you, because then your knowledge will remain theoretical. Try to bring in the application of the knowledge and information, so that it is more useful. You can become more adaptive when you get into a job, or get into a new further education, or get into your own businesses. Another thing which is very important nowadays, that you have to keep on upgrading your knowledge. So apart from the commercial education, digital education, the IT sector, we call it as a digital education. Be it like working on some softwares, working on some data management softwares. It's very important that you get parallelly acquainted with those, because without that, today the application and delivery of your knowledge or delivery of your jobs is impossible. Today, if I come across a person who knows accounting, who has been doing accounting for like last 5 years, but cannot work on Tally, I mean, I would not even look at him, because I mean, these are the softwares have become the integral part of our profession, not only ours, every profession. So, I mean, today we have no choice but to also keep on upgrading, keep on including our education, our knowledge accumulation process, these parts which are going to be useful for application of your knowledge when you get into industry. Of course, in terms of going into specialization, like doing a CA, CS, ICWA, now there are many opportunities like financial management, then share markets, then very specialized the support systems, services are extremely good avenues to start your businesses or use your knowledge in a very innovative way. So everybody, I mean, all of you have to keep your mind open into what is happening around. What is the requirement nowadays? Instead of like closing our minds into, oh, after this, either I will look for a job in industry, or look for a job in bank, or do like a CA, CS, ICWA. Of course, you need to do that. But along with that, please keep your minds open as to what is happening in different industries. So many new avenues are coming up. Nobody would have even when I did CA, even there was not another 5 opportunities, not more than 5 opportunities were available to us. But now that is not the case. So you are fortunate that you have huge opportunities in front of you, but at the same time, it is your responsibility is increased to look into what exactly is available, what exactly is required in the market, and how I am going to use my knowledge, and what I need to do to upgrade myself, so that I can remain in the market, I can be useful in the market, I can be successful in the market. Very important, which I want to give a message, because apart from learning the subjects which will be taught in your 2 years course, these 2-3 things are very important, which will help you to be ready to enter into either a business or the job market. Once you get into that, then you can still look at, okay, I got an opportunity maybe to work in a manufacturing unit to start with, but how can I upgrade myself? Because just basic knowing accounting is giving me the entry. Can I progress? Can I do the advancement? What do I need to do? Do I need to do MBA with a specialization in financial management? Do I need to do, am I interested in share market? Am I good at statistical analysis and handling data? These, once you get into any practical working mode, you will understand, you will get more clarity into what are you interested into, what areas are more fascinating for you, and then depending on that, upgrade your knowledge or get into a specialization. This path is going to will help you to have very clear thinking, very clear focus. You can decide which area you need to focus. You will have a clarity in your mind. But do not shy away from taking any opportunity. Doesn't matter how small or big, doesn't matter. You start working with that. No opportunity is small. Every small thing you can learn something out of that. This will create a base for you. So I really don't know, because these are the 2 years where you are going to decide what you want to do in your life, and depending on what I'm sure you must have already had some plans about it. But for executing those plans, taking some kind of practical experience, doing work with your own hand is extremely important. Many renowned MBA institutions, they insist on at least 2 years work experience. Why? Because the management subjects are such that not everything can be taught. So if someone has already worked, so the person who has worked for 2 or 3 years knows exactly how to apply the knowledge which he has learned, how to use the knowledge he has acquired while studying, and what are the issues which actually someone faces while working or while applying this knowledge. And then only the people get a clarity as to how to improve those skills which are more application oriented. So friends, these are the 3 things which I thought I will give you from my side as a suggestion, as a advice, and as a help to think through what you need to do. I hope I have tried to help the friends available here. And if you have any questions, I mean, let us be open to the questions. Hello?
Hello, Madhuri ma'am. This is Supriya Patil. I spoke to you the other day, and it was a wonderful session. What you're telling us is really very nice. I would like to ask you about your experience in various sectors. That is something I would like to know. Like how, when you move from, automobile to packaging to, so many other sectors that you worked in, how does your role change, or what preparation did you have to do to give your 100% in each role?
Yeah, thank you for asking this, because this actually relates to what I just now tried to explain. As I said, the basic knowledge which we acquire as a chartered accountant is basic commerce, the accounting, and the compliance. So as I said, debit remains debit, credit remains credit everywhere. Doesn't matter which industry you go. But take an example in automobile industry. When you interpret some expenses, what is more important, that how you deal with or how you treat particular capital investments in your books of accounts is very different than what you do in a industry like a food grade packaging. Food grade packaging, the industry which okay, in the automobile component industry, when I started actually with Kalyani Group. That was an engineering company that was very well set. I mean, Kalyani Group is a big and has a very good track record. So that was very good learning for me. I learned a lot in terms of how to manage the treasury. I was focusing more on the treasury functions. So how to manage the working capital. We casually use the word working capital. But then what actually means, what is involved into working capital, and how to manage that. Many people are of the interpretation or of the understanding that working capital means arranging funds from the bank. No, it is other way around. Working capital means how that is getting blocked in your stock, in your receivables, in your non-essential current assets and current liabilities. So the best way to manage working capital is manage these aspects which are involved into that. Manage the debtors. So these are the things which we need to understand, and we can understand only when we start actually working into that sector. Now the receivables concepts are different in engineering industry, in automobile industry, and in packaging industry. In my auto component industry, my debtors, my receivables used to be like almost 45 to 60 days. In packaging industry, we used to ask for the advance. So my working capital elements were changing, and therefore I need to change how I will manage my working capital and the fundraise. This is a classic example how we need to modify and adapt and use our knowledge as suitable to our roles and the industry which we are working. So the basic important thing is switching over from industry to industry. First, we need to understand what type of industry is there, what are the elements which are specifically important for that type of industry, and then adapt accordingly.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the response. Shamla, ma'am?
Yes. Krishna, do you have something to ask, ma'am? You've raised your hand. Okay. Ma'am, I have a question, Madhuri, ma'am. How challenging it is for a CFO to manage the governance part in the organization?
Tricky question. See, governance, the compliance and governance are two different things. Governance is a little broader perspective in terms of because that covers basically the environmental, the entire business, how it is working, having an impact on the environment, social and economical impact. Compliances are more related to under what statutes, or there are predefined rules and regulations under which the businesses come, and compliances are more related to meeting those the rules and requirements under those statutes. So compliance part is, it is very order, and therefore it's not only in the hands of the CFO, but it has to all other functions also have to change to be a part of compliance. Alone CFO or the finance function cannot. Of course, the position or the function gives you authority to rule everyone and to tell them, okay, this has to be done. But actually implementing that and actually following those rules and regulations is a little difficult task, and you have to take everybody along with you, and you have to keep on explaining them the importance, monitoring them, helping them to do the compliances. So it is a little tricky part. You have to continuously remain engaged with other functions, other people who are involved into that. For example, it is the health and safety regulation. It is a compliance, but health and safety doesn't fall under the finance and accounts. Health and safety falls under the people on the shop floor, people from the HR side, and people from the industrial safety side. So you have to, and they have to understand the importance of that. They have to understand the rules which they need to follow, and along with that, they need to also produce, and then they have to deliver. So they have more difficulty in implementing that, and that is where the role of a CFO becomes little more important. That to understand what their issues are and help them to still implement what is required. So it's very challenging. As I said, it changes industry to industry. And so you have to be continuously be with the system. So did I answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Yeah. Rupali, can you do the formalities? Please go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, ma'am, for such an inspirational speech and making us realize the fact challenges that life offers. It gave us right energy and great spirit to get geared in life and work right for better. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, Rupali.
Thank you, Vinayak. And ma'am, it was great listening to you. We enjoyed it thoroughly. We are almost at the end of this induction program, guys. Hope you all had a great fun and also enjoyed the evening. Every single day to work for a brighter future and be a good person in life. I would like to request Anjali to kindly propose the vote of thanks to all the dignitaries who took out time for us from their busy schedule. Anjali, please go ahead.
Thank you, Rupali. Thank you, Rupali. I, Anjali Tiwari, on the behalf of Department of Commerce, SPPU, take the privilege of proposing the vote of thanks. At the outset, I would like to thank Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Umrani Sir for giving his time. I also take the opportunity of thanking our Registrar Sir for his presence and support. A heartful thanks to our Dean Faculty of Commerce and Management SPPU, Dr. Kalkal, for his insight and expertise. I extend my regards and thanks to our chief guest, CA Mrs. Madhuri Dhandekar, ma'am, for accepting our invitation and delivering an enlightening lecture. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I express my gratitude towards our HOD ma'am for her constant encouragement. Thank you, ma'am. At last but not the least, many thanks to our teaching and non-teaching staff. By this, we come to the end of this induction program. We all really wish to see you in person soon. Wish all the fresher great time ahead. Thank you so much for your gracious presence. Thank you.
Thank you all, and all the best to uh, mm, all of the participants here and the people who are raring to get into the course. I'm sure everybody is very looking forward to actually meet personally. I mean, that's very important point because that is what the education is about. I mean, unless you do it together, it's fun. Yeah. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you. So with this, we come to the end of the program and we meet tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, guys, you are allowed to leave the meeting. We are done with the induction program. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Sarvesh. Rupali started recording. Rupali, please turn off the recording.
अरे wait a sec यार, wait a sec. अरे यार ये कैसे होगा? एक सेकंड. Something's wrong with this meeting. I stopped the recording.
What about college? Do we want our child to study abroad? A broad worldview is important.
Sir, your recording चालू है.
We have our entire lives to make all those wonderful decisions. But today,
recording बंद कर recording.